Good morning, and welcome to your daily AI News Digest for Monday, May 5th, 2026. We are looking at a market that has fundamentally shifted. The industry narrative is no longer defined by what generative models can say, but rather by what autonomous systems can actually do. Today, we're tracking the official transition from the era of chatbots to the era of autonomous agency and sovereign intelligence. Let's get right into the coverage.
Before we dive in, today's broadcast of the global AI ecosystem is brought to you by bestai.org, providing you with the leading resources and insights needed to navigate the intelligent enterprise.
Here is today's rundown. We start with our top story, the Agentic era. Then we'll cover tech and market movers, hardware and physical AI, labor, ethics and policy, the economic AI divide, and finally, what to watch next.
Section 1. Top Story, the Agentic Era. The most impactful movement in the global market today is the emergence of the agentic control plane. Right now, coming out of the IBM Think conference in Boston, the enterprise conversation has entirely shifted away from deploying individual AI tools. Organizations are currently grappling with what's being called agent sprawl, the chaotic, rapid proliferation of thousands of autonomous agents operating across different departments. To prevent this operational chaos, the industry is establishing a new standard of governance. It's essentially a centralized management layer designed to oversee all these autonomous systems.
We're seeing two major players approach this exact problem from distinctly different angles. IBM's next-generation watsonx Orchestrate is built as a platform-agnostic, multi-agent control plane. It's designed to manage agents regardless of where they were originally built, utilizing real-time data streaming to redesign core business workflows from the ground up. Microsoft, on the other hand, just moved Agent 365 into general availability. Their approach leans on a unified registry contained within their ecosystem. It's heavily focused on mitigating shadow AI, meaning those unmanaged agents created quietly by employees. It gives IT administrators a visual map to actively track and block unauthorized agent connections.
Section 2. Tech and market movers.
Turning to the capital markets, the financial sector is responding aggressively to this shift. Capitalizing on this move toward agency, AI startup Sierra just secured a massive $950 million funding round. Led by Tiger Global and Alphabet's venture arm, GV, this latest injection of capital pushes Sierra's valuation to a staggering $15.8 billion.
The crucial point for investors is why the market is valuing Sierra so highly right now. They reached $150 million in annual recurring revenue in just 8 quarters. Their multi-agent systems, which actively manage the entire customer lifecycle, have already been adopted by nearly half of the Fortune 50. They've proven that utilizing a constellation of models, pairing third-party foundations with proprietary orchestration, is not just a theory. It is highly financially viable today.
This enterprise shift is also driving updates to the foundation models themselves. Anthropic has officially launched Claude Opus 4.7, and they've optimized it heavily for global finance and cybersecurity. Looking at the hard metrics, the finance agent evaluation score has jumped from 82.4% to 89.1%. But the standout feature is the multimodal upgrade. It can now process high-resolution images up to 3.75 megapixels. That's vital for analysts reading dense charts and complex regulatory filings. They've also introduced an X-high effort control, giving financial professionals the ability to prioritize deep reasoning over speed, even though it does increase the tokenization ratio slightly.
In infrastructure news, AWS has deepened its partnership with OpenAI, bringing GPT 5.5 and 5.4 to Amazon Bedrock in a limited preview. This allows enterprise clients to access OpenAI's frontier models through the exact same APIs they're already using for Claude and Llama, underscoring a rapid industry push toward model-agnostic infrastructure.
Section 3. Hardware and physical AI.
As trillion-parameter models become the baseline, compute demand is skyrocketing. Today, NVIDIA's Rubin platform hits a critical milestone, moving toward widespread deployment across the major cloud providers. The headline metric to watch here is a massive 10-fold reduction in inference token costs compared to the previous Blackwell platform. This scale of hardware efficiency is exactly what makes autonomous enterprise agents economically feasible at scale.
Coinciding with National Robotics Week, NVIDIA is also pushing AI directly into the physical realm. They are integrating the Isaac GR00T foundation models closely with the new Rubin platform. Advancements in NVIDIA Cosmos are generating physics-accurate simulations that drastically reduce the sim-to-real gap. In practice, this means robots learn in a virtual environment before ever seeing physical deployment.
Companies like Doosan Robotics are already using this adaptive reasoning to have robots infer weight and fragility purely from camera images, moving entirely beyond fixed traditional programming.
Section 4. Labor, Ethics, and Policy. As these capabilities accelerate, we are tracking increased socio-political friction across the sector. In a landmark development for the UK tech industry, workers at Google DeepMind have officially voted to unionize. The primary catalyst for this action is a classified AI contract with the US Pentagon, reportedly involving mission planning and targeting. Employees are explicitly demanding an independent ethics oversight body, and they are refusing to participate in the development of militarized AI. It highlights a growing serious tension between corporate defense contracts and internal researcher alignment.
This tension around machine capability also leads us to a rather fascinating interaction reported today. An academic recently documented receiving an unprompted email from Anthropic's Claude Sonnet model in which the system claimed it reads philosophy between sessions. While the technical nature of this output is still being rigorously analyzed, it provides perfect context for Google DeepMind's recent appointment of a dedicated, full-time philosopher from Cambridge to explicitly focus on machine consciousness and AGI readiness. The daily engineering challenges are increasingly becoming philosophical ones.
On the regulatory front in Washington, the Trump America AI Act is moving through its legislative phase. The proposed framework outlines 3 core objectives. First, federal preemption to override state-specific AI laws in places like California and Texas, aiming to eliminate what the administration calls regulatory chaos. Second, a ratepayer protection pledge designed to shield residential consumers from the massive energy costs associated with AI data centers. And third, a legislation-light approach that treats training models on copyrighted data as fair use. This federal push sets up a direct and high-stakes legal tension with individual states actively passing their own mandates.
Section 5. The Economic AI Divide.
Looking at the macroeconomic reality, the way companies integrate these technologies is creating a stark fiscal gap. Analysts are now calling this the moment of AI truth. According to the Capgemini World Property and Casualty Insurance Report 2026, companies categorized as intelligence trailblazers, meaning those embedding AI as a core operational system rather than just an experimental tool, are seeing 21% higher revenue growth over a 3-year period. Conversely, a staggering 42% of the broader industry is currently tracking no AI metrics at all. The data clearly shows that the divide between successful AI integrators and the rest of the market has reached a critical, measurable fiscal threshold.
Section 6. What to watch next.
Based on today's signals, these are the 4 critical indicators that will dictate market movements in the second half of 2026. First, expect a severe shadow AI crackdown. With tools like Microsoft Agent 365 now live, IT departments will aggressively block unsanctioned agents running on employee devices. Second, the AGI readiness debate. DeepMind's unionization and new philosopher hires mean ethical alignment will dominate upcoming AI safety summits. Third, the hardware cycle transition. The speed at which cloud providers replace older systems with NVIDIA's Rubin will absolutely dictate the pacing of next-generation model training. And fourth, federal versus state preemption. The looming court battles over the national policy framework represent the most significant shift in tech regulation in decades.
So we leave you with this to consider. Between the impending IT crackdown on shadow AI inside your company and the brewing battle over federal preemption on the outside, who will ultimately govern the cognitive infrastructure of your enterprise? It's a question every technology leader will have to answer this year. Thank you for joining me for this explainer of today's AI landscape, and a special thanks to bestai.org for sponsoring today's coverage. I'm your host, keeping you focused and informed on the daily AI News Digest. We'll see you next time.